Welcome everyone. Today we are going to talk about this chapter, managing decision making and problem solving. Now this is a very important aspect of the managerial functions. Why? Because making effective decisions as well as recognizing when bad decisions have been made and quickly responding to mistakes is a very important ingredient in organizational effectiveness. So some experts believe that decision making is the most basic and fundamental of all managerial activities. In this chapter, we are going to talk about this decision making in the context of the first management function, planning. However, please remember that although decision making is perhaps most closely linked to the planning function, it is also part of organizing, leading and controlling because you take decisions for every phase of your work at organization. So we begin our discussion by exploring the nature of decision making. We then describe rational perspective on decision making. We will also cover behavioral aspects of decision making, and then we are going to conclude the discussion of group and team decision making. So without waiting further, let's begin the discussion of the chapter. When you were in your college, you probably had a plan that after passing your college education, you are going to get enrolled in an undergraduate program. It may be studying BBA, it may be studying computer engineering, maybe you wanted a degree in law, but whatever your educational choice is, you had a plan that you are going to complete your undergraduate degree. And after completion of your undergraduate degree, some of you may have thought that you are going to work straight away. Others may have thought that you are going to start your own business, or some of you may have thought that you are going to go for higher education abroad. And then when you are going to come back within the next 5 years after your undergraduate program, you are going to complete higher studies in MBA or in master's or any other specialization. So basically, this is a general decision process that you have had for your education and career. You may also have very specific plans that in this semester, apart from studying my BBA courses, I'm also going to learn, um, you know, a course in graphics, or I'm going to get myself enrolled in cooking or something. So that is your specific plan. So that means what? That decision making can refer to either a very specific activity or it can be a very general process. So decision making by definition is the act of choosing one alternative from among a set of alternatives. So the decision making process is much more than this. It is not as simply as taking or choosing one option over the other. It is not as simple as it. Okay, in organization, it is a very careful evaluation of a lot of factors before reaching to an effective decision. So, one step of the process, for example, is that the person making the decision must both recognize that a decision is necessary and identify the set of feasible alternatives before he or she selects one. Okay? So, the decision making process includes recognizing and defining the nature of decision situation. And what does that mean? It means that a manager will try to pinpoint the factors or issues where he or she must take a decision, something that is either disrupting the organization for which you need to take a decision so that you can dampen the effect of that problem, or maybe the manager is looking into an opportunity where he sees that if they take a decision right away, they can take advantage of the opportunity, which can be very beneficial for the organization. So basically, a manager will try to also identify alternatives and choose the best alternative and will try to execute that in reality. Okay, so the word best, of course, implies effectiveness. Remember, we have learned that a decision in an organization must be efficient and effective. So effective decision making requires that the decision maker understand the situation that requires the decision to be taken. So most people would consider an effective decision to be one that will create a balance or optimize between a set of factors like profits, sales, employee welfare, market share, etc. That means an effective decision will be something that will benefit all the stakeholders. Okay, that will not look into only the organization's profit. Okay, it is an effective decision where you are also looking into your employees' benefit, your shareholders' benefit. You are also looking into building up your brand and image. You are keeping the promise that you are making to the customer. Okay, and you are being responsible to your government and community. So that is an effective decision. Okay, so in some situation though, an effective decision may be the one that minimizes losses, expenses, or employee turnover. So that can be another situation as well. It is not always about earning profit or something. It can be a situation where you know that for some reason you cannot really make enough profit. For example, the current situation of COVID-19, it is affecting all the industry. It is also affecting any size of companies. It can be a big company or a small company. Everyone, almost everyone in every sector is getting affected, right? So when you know for sure that you probably won't be able to make profit, you have to take decision how you can minimize the loss. Okay, how you can still keep some of the employees, how you can still keep up with your expenses. Okay, so it may even mean selecting the best method for going out of business. That means exiting from the industry, how you can really dampen the damage and loss, and how you can, eliminate or lay off some of the employees in the best possible way. So these are decisions related to problems. Okay, so you should note that managers make decisions about both problems and opportunities. Okay, an undesirable situation is definitely a problem. Okay, like for example, this COVID-19 situation is forcing many companies to lay off some of their employees, to cut down on salaries, or maybe cutting down on bonus. Okay, so this is a problem, and managers must take decisions to do this work in the best possible way. Okay, but decisions are also necessary in situations of opportunities where things are good, when things are advantageous for the organization. So learning that the firm is earning higher than the targeted profit, for example, requires again a good decision. Why? Because when you have this extra profit, you have to make effective decision of how you are going to use this money. Okay, so can you use this extra fund to increase the shareholders dividend? Are you going to give them more profit, or you are going to reinvest in your current business, or maybe you are going to expand and diversify into another industry? So there are decision opportunities or decision situation every now and then in business, and you must take some decisions in your daily activities in the organization. About types of decisions. Okay, managers must make many different types of decisions. In general, most decisions fall into one of the two categories. They are programmed decisions and non-programmed decisions. Okay, so basically a programmed decision is the one that is less, quite more or less, structured. Okay, that recurs with more frequency. Okay, something that you do on a regular basis. Okay, for example, how you are going to wake up in the morning, how you are going to manage your online video lessons, how you are going to also attend some of the consultations if you have any queries, or how you are going to plan your weekly activities, which assignments you are going to do first and how you are going to respond to the others. So this is how basically you are making a programmed decision, something that is basically you are doing on a routine basis, on a daily basis. Okay, so if we take the real life example of a company named Starbucks, you know about Starbucks. They're one of the largest coffee chain store in the world, right? So Starbucks uses program decision to purchase the new supplies of coffee beans, cups, and napkins, and their employees are also trained in exact procedures for brewing coffees. Okay, so similarly, another company, Ford, okay, Ford takes some program decisions as well and on a regular basis. So what do they do? Their dealer makes a decision that they're going to sponsor a young soccer team each year. So this is also a program decision because they already have decided that every year they're going to sponsor a youth soccer team. Okay, so when the soccer club president calls, the dealer already knows that what he's going to do, right? So this is a routine work for the organization. So many decisions regarding basic operating systems and procedures and standard organizational transactions are of this variety, and they can therefore be programmed. Okay, so they are very structured routine decisions. Okay, the example given in the slide shows that starting your car in the morning is a routine decision, is a programmed decision. Okay? The other type of decision is called the non-programmed decisions. Okay? So the non-programmed decision, on the other hand, are relatively unstructured and they will occur much less often. Okay, this is something that will happen once in a blue moon. Okay, for example, again, the COVID-19 situation, it is a non-programmed situation. It is an unpredictable situation, right? Even last semester, we were having regular classes, we were coming to universities, and you were attending quizzes, and suddenly one fine day you got a notice that everything must be halted, everything must be closed right away, so that we can save ourselves from this virus, right? So we got back home, and then everything was halted for few months because the university had to take some decisions which were completely out of the book. Okay, something that is not done on a regular basis. So this is called a non-programmed decision, something that is very relatively unstructured. Okay, and this occurs very less than programmed decision, something that happens because of a crisis, something that happens because of an unpredictable situation. Okay, so example can be like, choosing a holiday destination, or maybe the same, if we take about the Starbucks situation, right? If they suddenly face a problem related to labor in a country like as volatile as India, okay, so if suddenly they face a problem there and they have never faced this kind of situation in USA, because in India there is a caste problem, and maybe they hired some people who does not fall into that category of casting, and then a lot of people, goes for riot or something that they have done mistakenly. So in this situation they will have to take a decision which is going to be non-programmed, something that they have never faced before in any other Western countries. Okay, something out of the blue that has happened to the organization. Another example can be, for example, Disney. You know about Disney. So their decision to buy Pixar was a non-programmed decision. Why? Because managers, they were faced with such a decision, treated this situation as unique, and they had to invest enormous amount of time, energy, and resources into exploring this situation from all perspectives. Okay. So the intuition and experience are major factors in non-programmed decisions, because the more experienced a manager is and the more insight he or she has. So basically, the more conceptual skill a manager will have, they are going to be better at taking non-programmed decision, because from their insight, from their experience, they are going to develop an intuition. They are going to get a vibe of the situation, and based on that vibe, they are going to take decisions which in most cases seems more effective than managers who are less experienced, okay, or who does not have enough conceptual skill. So most of the decisions made by top managers involving strategy, like for example strategies related to merging with another company, or maybe acquiring another company, or going for hostile takeovers, and when they want to change organizational designs, are basically non-programmed. Okay, so such are decisions like uh, opening up new facilities or new products or labor contracts and legal issues. These are mostly non-programmed decisions. Now why these are non-programmed decisions? Because sometimes some of the mergers or acquisition happen because suddenly they find out that an organization or their competitor is facing trouble and they're about to sell out. So they have to take that decision right then and there. Okay, so sometimes this decision of going into this kind of deal is usually non-programmed. Okay, but if you have a plan that yes, by next year I'm going to acquire 3 or 4 small companies, and then you send out your managers, look for companies, and then you come up with a plan of how you are going to approach them, how you are going to offer the deal, and it is a more routine and structured process, it will become part of a program decision. But in most cases, mergers and acquisition are usually non-programmed. Okay, they happen because of a sudden advantage, sudden opportunity, okay, coming into the manager's site.